Do you believe in magic?
Yes, I do.
Do you believe in magic? Cool. Sweet. Because on your website, you have a quote that says, turning dreams into reality like magic. So what does that mean to you?
Yeah, when this, for me, it's like, putting all that time into somebody's dream about building something for their dream home
Right.
is, it's like a lot of these places, they're like the dream home, they're
Right.
not building again. That's the last house they're building. That's
Right.
a lot of the places that we get hired, and I understand that. There's no second time,
Right.
that's the last.
Right.
So for them, it's like it's the first impression, before you get to that the house. Of course, you have these amazing, beautiful houses, but having that presentation on the front,
Right.
and then creating something that sometimes you probably see just on, internet, and you see it actually in reality in front of your house.
Right.
That's what I mean by that.
Feels pretty magical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that and the final results, like with the client. I mean, when you're doing your installations, a lot of the gates, especially the gates, that's one of the things that we focus a lot. Is you're part of the final stage where they
Right.
finish their project, and you have all these friends coming into the property, and just all those compliments, like
Right.
that put you in a position that you feel like you're doing something right, having all those compliments, which is
Totally.
actually they mean a lot,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. I want to know, like, as an artist, you're obviously someone that's pretty creative. I feel like you have to be in this kind of
Yeah.
field, especially if your niche, your focus is still art. Is there different kinds of art forms? Are you into like cinema? Are you into painting? Were you a creative kid?
Uh,
Is there like certain people or things that inspire you?
Actually, it's just like I like to, like, when I building something, it's just like it's just a weird feeling, and I had that discussion with some clients actually, because art, it can be different ways, right?
Right.
I had clients that are interested in painting. They do their own painting pictures, and then they do different type of art. They create different stuff with their hands, or even a singer, even somebody that plays the guitar.
Right.
They have the unique style and everything. To me, when I'm building something, it's just like, I don't know. It's just it's a feeling like the time flies. Like it's just you get focused so much on a piece of art, and it's just something that I love to do. I remember when I was a little kid, I grew up in Mexico, so when I was a little kid, my dad took me to a blacksmith shop. We were doing some work for our house down there, and I remember seeing this guy that was a helper, and my dad was talking to the blacksmith guy, and he was twisting some curls for some project that we're working on it. And being a little kid, seeing a man doing that with their bare hands,
Right.
I mean, you're like, wow, that
crazy.
guy's
You're really strong.
is Superman. Has what kind of powers this guy has?
Right.
Right. It was, to me, it was really cool. But it was. I told my dad, like I wanted to work for that guy. My dad just laughed. I was a
Yeah.
little kid, and then I continued with my life. Like as a kid, I thought about become a police officer, a contractor. I kind of like the construction industry too.
What'd your dad do?
My dad was a farmer.
Okay.
We were farmers down there in Mexico. So all the way until I was 12, and then immigrate right here to the Bali, and then I grew up right here in the Bali. I used to work in the fields too.
Nice.
I work in the dairies too. That's
Okay.
another thing.
Did your dad ever like do a little bit of like metal work or carpentry stuff on the farm?
No,
Alright.
we were like my dad. It was we were our farm. We were more in the they were more into equipment. You know,
Okay.
like my
Yeah.
brother has a successful business. They have a company. It's fleet trucks. They
Oh wow.
drive all over the country. Semi business, you know,
Okay.
and they actually told me to get into that, you know, because it is a good business. My brother's has made a successful company out of that,
Right.
you know, and my dad works for him, and at some point they wanted me to be a
Your dad
mechanic.
now works for your brother.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah. My brother has about, I think his fleet about 20 semis.
Okay. Are
Yeah.
they still kind of, even though you have your business here, are they still kind of like prodding at you and like, hey, you should?
At the beginning, they were like, "Hey, what are you doing in that
Right.
industry?" It's like, "Why not doing this?" And my
Right.
brother even offered me at one time to go to college for diesel mechanic.
Right.
Uh, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of tempting, but then I was
sure.
like, I just gonna follow my lead, you know, follow my
Nice.
passion. And at the beginning, they were like, you know, they had doubts, you know, if it was gonna be a successful thing for me. But you know, I start, you know, working every day
Right.
for that dream, for that to become true, and they start seeing my progress, you know, where I start making a living out of it. I
Right.
start, you know, grow up my business start grow up, and then they see, and my brother actually saw how everything was going, and he did offer me one time if I wanted it to partnership, and I don't know. It's just like one of those things that I was like, you know what? I think I'm doing good right now.
Yeah.
So I'd rather just to continue with my lead. It was like, I just, you know, like to me, this turned into like my baby, you know, like
Right. For
this
sure.
is what I love to do. And so I like to have control of
For sure.
my projects. I like to have control of from the beginning to the end, you know, to the
Yeah.
final installation and everything. Yeah.
Okay. From the time you were a kid and saw that blacksmith to the time that you opened your business, where did you? I think you told us a little bit, but like, where did you start getting that experience of just like making metal art and building rails and building gates? Like, where did you just go work for someone, or did you go to school, some kind of program?
No, like I mentioned, I got married when I was 17. I was working at the Spartans back in the day,
Okay.
and I was looking for a place actually for me and my wife, and I went to ask this guy that had a small little house and asked him if that place it was available for rent. He said no, that it was meant to be an office. So he asked me where I was working. I told him I'm working in the fields. He asked me if I wanted to work for him. I was like, I don't have any experience at what you do. He was like, don't worry about it. It's like, I just want a guy that really wants to work, and I teach you.
Nice.
So I say yes. I mean, wintertime was coming, you know.
Right. Right.
I know I was gonna be inside the shop, probably warm.
Right.
So
big
I say
difference.
yes, and the first week, I don't know, it was just something felt like, you know, that I like, you know, the stuff, all the stuff, the artwork that he had around the shop. You know, we had even chandeliers. We had metal
wow.
sculptures around the shop. I'll start, you know, like as a that age, you know, you're curious
Right.
about all this, you know, wonderful stuff, the metal sculptures, and it's like, how do you do this?
Right.
So I will finish my shift, and I will ask this guy if he give me the opportunity to stay without pay. I was like, I don't mind to stay, and I want to practice. You know, I want to learn. I believe one of the things that was I didn't want to go back to the fields, and then I don't want to be unemployed
Right.
especially in the winter time.
Right, for sure.
But it was more like I really started loving doing that.
So it's kind of like an apprenticeship.
Yeah. And it was to the point where like I learned to do it, like the welding, the basics, probably about a week
Yeah.
without experience.
Dang, bro. Yeah.
But that was
Cool.
how much I knew I wanted to learn.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah. And then I remember my while, I told him one day I'm going to do something with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that guy still around?
Yes, he's still around.
You
We're
guys still good connected?
Yeah.
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 That's cool.
Yeah,
I
he
feel like
was-
you must be proud.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's what I heard around.
Yeah.
He said all of his apprentices and all the guys that work for him. It's like you're the only one that actually say that we're gonna do it, and you did it.
You did it. That's awesome, dude. It's a cool story.
Yeah,
Yeah. It seems like your company is kind of like, especially with that background, it's a blend of this old school, like high quality hand done methods, and then you kind of combined more modern, right? You do modern rails and modern gates as well. So my question is, like, are those old methods like maybe rails with like molded tops and like spindles and stuff like that, and handmade sculptures, blacksmith stuff? Is that methods that people are still asking about and looking for, or are you kind of trying to keep that? And is it shifting with like technology, or are you trying to like convince people, hey, like this is a beautiful thing, you should try to do this, or
No,
is there a market for it?
it's like it all depends what their. You have to look. You have to have the eye for. That's why I do a consultation. That's the
Okay.
first thing. I want to see like what's the surroundings. What's the house style and all that
Right.
stuff. Because putting fully ornate, beautiful piece of art, with scroll work and all that
Right.
stuff, and a futuristic or modern home, right?
Right.
So you put in, you make the right combination when the house allows it, because there's a market for everything. When
Right.
the house is like a more like this unique house with let's say modern, but at the same time has that
Right.
classy look
Right.
and those classy touch. That's when there's room for that old blacksmith. And a lot of the people on this type of projects, they going more for like something that looks rustic, like
Right.
that, that looks handmade, that looks unique.
Is that is younger generations still looking? Because I know there's a lot of older generations that ask for that, but is it continuing? Like, is it a dying thing, or is it like, are younger people and younger couples coming to you and asking
It's
for
really
this? Kind of a mix.
mix.
Okay.
It's a little bit of a mix. Like I said, it actually really depends on the style of their. I think the final decision, it takes a point where like what's the style of their house,
Right.
because there's still this beautiful residents there are, their class. They have that classy look. They have the that is not modern, but they try to modernize it with this few touch. But there's still room for that classic. But I think when you do this, the scroll work has to be really unique, and it has to be minimum, like just
Right.
a touch.
Right.
I think when
Can't
you
be
go
over.
to the scroll work and blacksmith, if you overdo it, so you lost the point of the artistic. You just make the piece look too busy. And that's the thing. So you have to know what's the right limit for if you've been asked to do something like that, or if there's a room for that specific type of art to fit on it.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing, with the modern designs. It can be, you can create something artistic with the modern techniques, like
Right.
using different type of materials, different. But there's a thing, like I mean, you as a metal fabricator, you know that too, that it can be as many hours or labor intense
Right.
as building a sculpture or scroll work.
Right.
And it gets to, it looks simple, but then a wall down piece and a wall with a fine touch and the right finish,
Right.
it can take as much time as building a scroll
Right.
wall piece.
Right. But yeah, that's not always, the client doesn't always understand that.
No, it looks
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah.
I mean, you look
Yeah.
at the piece, and it looks simple, right?
Effortless.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But you only know how much time is involved.
Right.
Because I mean, simple doesn't mean there's no a lot of labor behind that.
Yeah.
You know, there's pieces that you look at and you ask yourself how you guys do this. How do you
Right.
guys fabricate this? And actually, even a fabricator will be like, how this guy
Right.
built this piece.
Right.
And you know, that's where all the process is.
Yeah. So I want to know some of the things you were just explaining to me. If a client came up to you and they want this, classical look with rustic, right, with all these scroll work, and they want the bells and whistles, and they want this and all this stuff. If they came to you and they wanted this super busy thing with all this stuff, and they were very set on it, would you, as Julio, be like, okay, I see you really, really want this, I'll do it? Or would you still voice your opinion like that and be like, here, I can do that, but this from my experience, what would you do?
A lot of the times, what I do, and I still do, I build like the samples for them. You know, like I build them a sample
Right.
the way they want it, and I build a sample that, I give them a second option.
Like a drawing kind
Yeah.
of?
Sometimes it could be a drawing, and depending how serious my client is moving forward, sometimes can be actually a physical piece. So
Oh, really?
building a small section of railing
I see.
and be like, hey, this is how it's gonna look. This is all the details and all the stuff, and I explain it. And sometimes it's like I said, it's on them because it's their
If that's
their
really,
dream,
really what
you
they
know,
want, yeah.
and it's my I think my work is like helping them to the process and help them to make the right decision. But at the end, it's
For
like
them.
they're the ones that are gonna see the piece every day.
Right.
So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, at the end it's like it's like it's when you buy in a car,
Right.
or a boat. It's the same thing. You decide how many stuff you want it, or if you build in a custom truck, you
Right.
decide what you're gonna put into it.
Right.
Some people might think it's a lot. Some people think it's beautiful.
Right. It might not be your taste, but
Yep.
it might be
Yeah.
exactly what they want.
Yeah, exactly. It's at the end, it's that's why it says my slogan is like making their
Yeah.
dreams become true.
Your dreams.
Yeah.
Not necessarily mine.
Yeah, no mine. I mean, I help them,
Yeah, totally.
Well, the thing that I have seen a lot of with the clients is like a lot of the people, they're really good at visualizing stuff, but sometimes they're not.
Yeah.
They actually need to see a drawing or actual piece or
Right.
a picture or
To
something.
help them feel comfortable enough.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And there's some clients that actually, they're pretty much, and that's actually it feels good, that some people actually trust me that much. Some people that are saying, you know what, just build it. I know,
Just do it.
I see your work. I know you're gonna do something amazing. Just
Yeah.
go for it.
That is a good feeling.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
and it's a lot of pressure too.
It is a lot of pressure.
Yeah, because when you're going to deliver delivering the product at the house, it's like you're nervous actually. But once you deliver the piece and then it's a positive, which
Right.
has been,
Right.
it feels great. It feels great.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds familiar to us. At the Home and Garden Show, we had that staircase there,
Yeah.
the offset one, and we're taking up to like Cleellum, Suncadia area, and we have the other side of the staircase and the landing, and it's all cable rail and all this stuff. And I believe the designer helped with a lot of that, but we ultimately decided like this is what we think this style should be, whatever. And it's a big project. And
Yeah.
it's definitely stressful, and it's like, okay, we're going to take it all up there. We're taking our whole crew. We're taking half the shop to get there, going all weekend to put this thing in, and like, I hope it looks amazing. We feel confident, but it's just still stressful. It's still a big thing.
Yeah, I mean, is
Big job.
that final? I mean, when you put the final piece together, it's just like a huge weight out of your back. You know?
Right.
It's like you feel
Right.
good.
Only to pick up another one, right?
Yeah, and it's like I said, the final approval on the client.
Right.
That actually means a lot.
Yeah, totally. Because we might think like, oh, this is great quality. This looks really good.
Yeah.
And we may love it, but maybe the client doesn't love it.
Yep.
Or we might be like, oh, it's great quality, but it's not my favorite. But then the client's like, it's the most amazing thing, whatever.
Yep.
So it's a little bit of that give and take, and yeah.
Yep.
When it comes to like building rails and gates and stuff, have you found like certain materials and certain finishes that are like top of the line, that are like your go-to every time in the shop, or say even methods, or does it kind of just depend on the project?
For the materials to be used, or the materials or the finishes.
Either or. Like, do you have any kind of like, material or finish or method that you would say is like, I do this every single time to every single project because it's something that it has to have?
I will say your right gauges on the material, that helps a lot. And the finishes, a lot of the people, they go for like smooth finish.
Mm-hmm.
To me, actually, I prefer texture finish.
Yeah.
Main reason is like having black carbs. Usually, with the modern designs, there's a lot of that smooth black finish.
Right.
But I think they tend to show like blemish, or they show like their scratches.
Kind of stands out.
It's more, and I think like not necessarily high gloss, like low gloss, looser finish. Like they tend to, but with texture, they tend to help with that.
Yeah.
Which is good for the interiors.
Right.
I want to say.
Totally.
But
because that rail gets beat up, you know, with a family.
The exteriors, I see. There is a point. I mean, the exteriors, especially if you live in a dusty area, textures tend to collect dust.
Right.
That's one of the downsides. But I think there's some finish with the less textures, and I think picking the right texture for like if it's an exterior rail, that will help with your actually like your scratches and all the stuff that will make that rail look good for the longer period.
Right.
And as far as the materials, like I said, when it comes to railings, a lot of my railings actually I get called because, like I work with a lot of, like old people, like old guys, and people that actually need the railings for like safety.
Yeah,
and I
sure.
tend to use a lot of the 2-inch by 120 wall.
Right.
One of the reasons I want to give them that feeling, that it's a
secure.
super strong railing. It's not just something that it's reliable. I want to give them that feeling that is
Sturdy.
it's sturdy. If I about to fall, I can rely on my railing. It's not gonna come with me.
Right.
So that's one of the things. So I know when they call for railings, especially from porch and all that stuff, or it's the main thing. Yes, of course, they want to look nice. They want to look presentable, and then some they want to have like the artistic stuff on it. But it's more like safety.
Right.
That's the safety. That's the first thing that goes into my mind. Building something that is going to be reliable, sturdy.
Yeah.
Yeah, something that feels solid.
Yeah.
That's my main thing. And with the gates, I'm a big fan of. If you see my gates, I'm a big fan of using like bulky frames.
Because you'll have a lot of intricate pieces within those bulky frames.
Yeah.
And how do you like secure those that they're not gonna like snap or break?
Like
some of the like the trees and stuff like that.
the trees actually there's some that they're built in, and some of them they're like secure in different specific points. You know, like critical points that we're gonna attach them. But a lot of them they're just like built into the gate. But like I said, one of the things that I think makes a gate stand out is the framework. You know, like building a gate with the, you know, especially if it's a driveway gate, you know, you're building an entrance, you know, it should look something amazing. You know?
Yeah, totally.
So a frame plays a big important role in there. So you had to have a nice frame. At least that's what I think.
Yeah,
you know?
totally. Yeah, I agree. At your shop, we touched a little bit on like doing things by hand versus like maybe always like going to the newest machine or the newest tech to do something, which like technology has its place for sure in helping all of our tasks be easier. But for you, do you tend to go to like, I'm going to do this by hand, I'm going to drill this thing by hand, I'm going to bend this thing by hand, or do you tend to kind of go towards, I'm going to buy machines just to make this all easier, I'm going to buy some kind of technology that's going to help me?
No, I think
or kind of a blend.
I think there is stuff that it could be done by machines, and that makes the work way easy, you know.
Totally.
But like when it comes, because there's a lot of miscellaneous parts that you can be making by machines, like plates, space plates, tabs, and stuff like that. You know, that you can have. Let's say you have a plasma table in your shop, or you have a iron worker.
Right.
A machine or a laser table.
Right.
You know, all this new machinery you can use in this industry.
Right.
That helps to speed up the process, make a clean look pieces. You know.
Right.
Of course, you can do it by hand. I mean, we have to start at some point, right?
Right. Right.
But I think there's a room, and that's the future of the manufacturing,
right?
Going with the new technology, what is coming, you know, like I think that's gonna play a big role in the future,
right?
And I think that's gonna be a huge thing in the new generations. We'll probably see it. You know, I don't know if have you seen the laser weldings? They're coming strong into the fabrication market,
right?
Especially for railings and stuff like that. And actually, that's something that we start looking into. It's like, looks kind of cool. So we're actually thinking to assist on one of those shows to see how it works and if it's something that is gonna work for us.
Is it a laser welder? Is that what you said?
Laser welding.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, yeah, that's something that I look into it, and it's like, that may be interesting.
Yeah,
you know, they seen there's gonna be something new, so we'll see. You know. Yeah,
and it's just kind of like our day and age. It's just like that's just kind of where we're at. Technology keeps going faster.
Yeah,
and faster.
I mean, it's about innovating. You know, it's a good thing. You know, like innovating, creating new stuff. You know, like I do. I create some pieces that I don't see them in here a lot. Like there's some pieces there's some sheet metal work that you can do with the sheet metal incorporate. You can incorporate it on like the gates, on the railings, with sheet metal work.
Right.
Yeah, you can. There's some different type of equipment that you can use. I start using some of those, and it's about innovating. You know, like what I like to do with my work is like sometimes I design a new piece, a new gate, a new railing or something, you know, and sometimes actually it's hard to estimate how much time it's gonna get involved.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But sometimes you got to do it, you know.
Right.
It's the race about innovating, you know. Like you might be putting, you know, like you think that you put maybe 30 hours into this project, and you end up putting 45.
Yeah, right.
But it is worth it.
Yeah.
You know how much time, and of course it's a new process. So
Right.
next time you're probably gonna be faster. You know,
Yeah.
like the practice will start getting, get you more accurate, more precise, and the time will be reduced.
Yeah.
And like I said, sometimes I design this new gates that I think they're gonna look cool, and
Yeah.
I try to a lot of the times I schedule for the clients,
Yeah.
and I schedule for the clients and I show them, and then they're like, if you think it's gonna look good, let's move forward. So, and then like I said, until right now I have that positive final feedback
Right.
from the client. They really like it. They love what
Yeah.
I have done with their project and everything. Yeah.
When you first started your shop, did you find that you were underbidding or overbidding on most of your projects?
I was
Or did you feel pretty confident as far
I
as your
would feel
background?
I was feeling pretty confident about my project, and then one of the other things that
But you do such like some of the things you do, some of the sculptures and stuff are so unique that it's like, how do you even estimate that out?
yeah, I mean, it's just like sometimes you gotta take the risk, you
Yeah.
gotta take the risk. Sometimes it is in a specific line of client actually
Right.
to value it, because for some people it could be just metal,
Right. Right.
but it takes a certain line of client to give the value to that piece.
Totally.
It's a unique piece, no doubt,
Right.
but it's
And be open to that kind of room and
yeah,
Stuff
and
like
it's
that.
just like the feeling to have something unique,
Right.
and so, having something that is really one of the kind. You're
Right.
not gonna see it everywhere, and that's one of the things. But it is hard.
right.
A lot of the times, so we start with the gate frame, like, okay, this amount of hours, and then, well, I'm gonna put probably the gate is probably, let's say, the framework and all that stuff around. It's gonna be, let's put it 6 hours.
Right.
Then I'm gonna spend 30 hours or 70 hours on this tree.
Yeah. Dang.
So you have to consider there is materials. Actually, they're not a lot. A lot of them, I do a lot
Comparatively.
of stuff with sheet metal work.
Okay.
It's 10 gauge. It's stuff that you have to it's maneuverable, that you can bend it, shape it with your hands, because a lot of this 3D, because it's not just a plasma cutout. That's the nice thing about doing this metal sculpture trees. It's actually a 3D, something that you shape it, and you have to draw. Like all these trees that you see, I actually had to draw every single one and by hand. And I mean, they're unique. I don't have templates. I just do them. I draw them on the metal, and I start drawing, and I design this piece, and I start
It's
cutting
just out of
pieces.
your head.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
That's pretty cool, man.
yeah.
Pretty sweet.
And so that's one of the things. Like, you don't know how much time, honestly, sometimes
Right.
you're gonna put into a piece. I mean, you got to start learning through the process and then start estimating how much time that you're gonna put into a piece. But it is really hard. It's
Right.
really hard. And then a piece of art, actually, it's not like you just go full month.
Right.
And you're gonna start building. It's gonna take you 30 hours, and you're gonna finish in 30 hours.
Right.
Sometimes you start working on it, and you get to a point where you get blocked,
Right.
and it's just a weird feeling. I mean, I had talked to, like I said, clients. They do different type of art, and they say, I totally understand. It's like you get blocked, and you're like, you have to step back. And a lot of the time when I build these pieces of art, it's actually just me.
Just you doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because one of my next questions was, like, how do you raise up little Julios that do what you do?
I find out I lost a lot of guys over the time
Yeah.
because they don't have the patience. They don't have the patience. They want to make it look
Super cool.
super cool,
Yeah.
and like like this, but it's not. It doesn't work like that.
Right.
It's
It's
takes
old
time.
school. It's like it's hard work. It's time. It's patience. It's really putting in the work.
Yeah, you have to have the vision.
Yeah.
Where like it's
Hold
pretty
on.
much when I'm working. The main reason why, like a lot of the times, it's just me. When I'm gonna work on a really custom piece of work, like I work through my entire day of work. And let's say right now, my guys leave, and I stay in the shop, play some music, something that I like, and I start looking at these pieces, something that I'm gonna be working on, and I'll start working. Sometimes I'm not gonna lie, there's times that I have been until like 1 in the morning on the shop.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, and it's something that I just lost track of time, and I'm still working on it. You know, like in receive a call from the wife, where you at? It's at the shop. Well, why? You know, kind of come to sleep or what?
Right.
And it's
Dang.
like, yeah, what time is it? Oh, so, and a lot of the times, the reason why I do it like that is I don't get distracted. You know, I can be 100% focused because it is a piece of art,
Right.
and I had to like my like when I'm there, it's just like it feels like just the world outside just stops. It's just me and my piece of art.
Right.
There's nothing else.
Right.
You know, like it's just my focus and my mind is just on that. There's
Yeah.
nothing else.
Yeah.
And you know, like I had to feel good. I had to feel be in the right mood. You know, that's why I say I play some music that I
Right.
like,
Right.
and I just, you know, start working on it.
Yeah.
The next day, the guys will come, and it was like, "Oh, you were working last night, yeah." So there's stuff that I asked them to help me out.
Right.
So stuff that I know they can handle, they
Right.
can do. My first piece of art that I built, it was for a client of huge tree. It was 17 feet by 9 feet tall, 9.5 feet tall.
17 feet.
Yeah, 17 feet wide, but 9.5 feet tall in the center.
Oh wow. That's
Yeah.
crazy, bro.
So we planned this gate for this client to be at 6.5 at the center, and I was building this gate, and I was given the width and all that stuff, estimating how big the opening was. And when I built this gate, I got to the 6.5 feet, and it's like, man, this thing, it looks like like a shrub.
Right.
It's like, what should I do? Should I build a bonsai tree or build a tree of life?
Right. Right.
So I know my client was on a vacation. I didn't want to bother, so I sent him an email. I sent an email and I told him, it's like, hey, the tree grew for a couple of feet. It's like, I think it's gonna look nice because the way we talked at the beginning, it's gonna look like a shrub. So I'm working on this gate. I finished the gate. I lost a guy, so I had a couple of estimates to do, and I told my guy, and I teach him how to cut those leaves. We were cutting those leaves by hand with temp snips,
Yeah.
a big one.
So he quit.
Yeah, because
Because of
he got he didn't have the patience.
Dang.
When I came back into the bucket, you know, I went out and the shop was closed, and then I went into the bucket and looked at the leaves. They were squares. There were no leaves in there.
Dang.
They were squares. And I called him and he asked me, like, hey, if there's anything else that I can do.
Yeah.
I was like, Giovanni, I need you to do this right now. It's like, I need your help with this.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, call me when you have something else.
Dang.
So I was so focused, and I didn't have the energy to train somebody else.
Right.
So I did it myself, the entire
Yeah.
gate myself.
Wow. Wow.
My shop was a 22 by 60 feet, but it was a 8 feet ceiling,
Yeah.
and I had 8 feet doors, 8, 9. I couldn't remember exactly. How do you get the gate out of
Yeah.
that shop?
And you build outside?
No, I built it inside.
How'd you get it out? I have no idea.
So I had to build this jig, and I didn't have help, right?
Yeah.
And I wanted to get this gate this afternoon, and I built a jig, and I tried to put the gate out, and didn't fit. So I spent another 2-3 hours because I wanted to take it to the pot coating the next day. So I had to get the gate out at an angle,
Yeah, right.
and it was just me by myself.
It's wild, man.
No forklift, no helper. So that was my first gate. So I had the gate out of the shop. So I built a home built crane on my truck, on top of my truck.
A home built crane, huh?
Yep. I went to Harbor Freight, bought a jack, and I built this. I went and buy this pipe, and I built this home built crane to put that gate on top of my trailer.
That's wild, dude. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah. You don't have to say the number of it, but I want to know, whatever that client paid you for that gate, did it justify all the hours and the labor and the work you put in?
I want to say.
Like, did you wildly underbid that, or was it pretty fair? Or
I think.
seems like a lot of work.
Yeah, I think I didn't have a lot of overhead back in the day. And I think it was worth it.
It was worth it.
It was
Yeah.
worth it.
Yeah.
It was worth it. Probably, I don't want to say that I make a ton of profits, but a profit on it.
Right.
But it was totally worth it.
Totally.
Yeah, because I had,
Get your art out there, start getting your name out, and
yeah,
for sure.
because I had similar people, like they build similar stuff, quite a bit as mine. And I had that question. They asked them, how much did you build this gate for?
Right.
And yeah, of course, the price was like double what I charged for the gate.
What they were charging was double?
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, I mean, it could be, they're way bigger. The company that has like
Right.
20 employees.
Right.
And a lot of overhead. That could be probably the thing. But being an artist sometimes is it's a process. I think it's a process where like you start learning how much your value of your pieces, the value of the work that you do,
Right.
and you start learning through the process.
Right.
And it is a process, honestly. Well, like I said, when I started, when you asked me about underbidding, I think I started a good price point, and then I start getting my prices, they're higher.
Right.
They're higher, and I totally understand. Everybody has their own way to bid stuff.
Right.
Like to me, it's more like about, not a production. Every single, even if it's a small project, like everybody wants to have a piece of quality, and then
Right.
the thing is like at the end the client knowing that even if they build this simple gate, but they know they was built with good quality, and the guy actually stand behind his work, and then is the guy is doing the
Right.
best with the budget, that like something that is fair.
Right.
Yeah, because it's like I said, even it can be something really simple with the right finish. It looks amazing.
Yeah.
It looks professional. It looks well built and everything, and that's at the end. That's the goal. Like even if it's a tiny little project. Because
Right.
I get calls for like, even if I remember one time I have a client ask me if I could make silverware.
Silverware?
Yeah.
Dang.
It's like, yes, I can do it, but it's like, and I tell him, it's like, look, silverware, I had to send it to the water jet.
Right.
I had to send it. It's really thin material. I cannot do it with the plasma.
Right.
I can do it. It's like, I'm gonna be honest with you. The water jet is expensive. You want to do it?
Right.
And they say yes. So I send the quote. I never heard. So probably was pricey. But I mean, I won't say no to do
Yeah,
it. I was, like long as it's the right margins and the right price for me, like getting to something. I mean, I make everything happen, anything happen.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna ask, what's the smallest you would go, which that's pretty small, and what's the largest project you would consider taking on?
I would say the smallest. I mean, I would say.
I mean, Civil War is pretty small.
I would say nothing. Honestly, I had help one time to.
Someone wants like a custom picture frame this big, you'd be like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, if it's like I said, if it's
price.
worth. Yeah, like I had helped somebody to build like on one of those wheels, like what is it, electric chair, a scooter, electric scooter.
Yeah.
So the girl called me and she need a flat hole for that because his dad got run over, and I was super busy, and I told her, hey, I'm coming on Saturday at this time from work. I have a work that I'm doing outside. If you want me to do it, I can do it this time, and I'll be there. Took me like 3 hours because I had to unmount some stuff and decide how I was gonna do it. It was something really small, just to tie in the pole, like a light pole and it was like 2 hours, I think, and that was a really small project.
Yeah, right.
Super small project. And the biggest, I said, I don't think, if I have the right crew, I will do what I can handle with my crew.
Okay.
Yeah, because I won't target something that the quality will be compromised.
Right.
Yeah.
So like if one of the courthouses wanted like a 40-foot tall American Eagle, like gold statue or something, you're like you would need a good sized crew for that. Would you even consider that, or would it?
Yeah, something like that. Like I said, I will consider it. I will like a piece of art. I will consider. Like I have, we've been talking with a client about doing a huge lion.
Right. Yeah.
So that's something that is still on the table. It's a future project. But
yeah. How tall is that?
Is probably gonna be. We haven't discussed set on measurements, but he said something about 8 foot tall, 12 feet.
It's pretty
long.
Big.
Yeah. It's in the front of the huge house. The house is like
wild.
I think it's 15,000 square feet.
Dang.
Yeah, that's not
crazy.
A house.
Yeah.
It's a mansion.
Yeah, that's an office building.
Yeah, I was like, that's a mansion.
That's crazy, dude.
My first house, I think, apartment where I used to live, I think it was like 500 square foot or less.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's too big.
It's crazy. What type of are you super active on social media? And if you are, what kind of content is the stuff that grabs the most attention, grabs the most clients?
Well, that's one of the things. It's like you haven't been really active. Okay. One of the things that happened actually to me, it was like I was like really active on social media to the point that I got too busy.
Yeah, right.
I got too busy, and it was to the point where I don't have time to make this video. I don't have
to grind.
Yeah, I stopped being active. I was growing super fast.
Yeah.
And I got too busy, and I think it was a good thing that I learned. I got overwhelmed. I got a ton of work. Yeah. I got swamped with work. I had a crew of, I think I had 7 guys at the time. I had a really, really good guys on that crew. I have an apprentice guy that were really motivated, and
he was trying to apprentice and be you, basically.
Yeah. And one of the things, I think it was a ton of hours.
Yeah.
A ton of hours.
Right.
Even with 7 guys, I couldn't keep up.
Yikes, dude.
We work weekends.
Yeah.
And one of the things that
you burn out pretty quick that way.
Yeah, that was one of the things. And another thing, it was I think it was one of the guys actually come to me and asked me about benefits.
Ah,
And being a small business,
right.
you know, it's a
Not-
tough one.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
I tried to convince him with actually, higher
a raise.
raise, with the raise.
Yeah.
But some of them, they're like, no, we want benefits.
Right.
And so some of them, they told me, it's like, yeah, I got a job, I have benefits, and I got all this. Some of them, actually, they come and help me when they get off from work. Because, like,
Kind of side job. Yeah.
yeah, they're like, yeah, I don't want to. And in bad terms, they're like, hey guys, don't worry about me.
Right.
It's like, you guys, I know you guys looking for better. It's fine with me. I'm not mad. I mean,
Right.
if you guys doing better, I'm good. And I
Right.
still talk to a few of them, and I tell them, it's like, if it's to do better, like, that's never gonna be a problem with me.
Right.
Like, it's fine with me. I'll if I help you, to do something better, like, I'll have a couple of guys I didn't know how to weld. I train them.
Yeah.
It's hard for some guys that actually to get into a fabrication shop without experience.
Right.
But if I see, that person that actually wants to learn and is self-motivated and he's so passionate about learning, I'm all in to teach him
Right.
how to do it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But there is some people, they actually, I mean, it's with this new generation, is that's one of the things, the hard-working employee.
Right. It's hard to find.
They're hard to find.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're hard
sure.
to find, and that's a big thing on your crew. Because it's so much thing you can do by yourself. I mean, when I started, like I said, I learned to do a lot of stuff by myself, a lot. And sometimes it's not a bad stuff being by yourself, because
Right.
you can discover a lot of new skills and what's your potential. Like when I think when in those situations where you're like, in that situation where like you're by yourself and you had to figure it out stuff.
Right.
You had to.
You just have to. You don't
just
have a
had to.
choice. Yeah.
It's like building that crane, on my truck.
Yeah.
It's
wild.
Actually, I put a couple of balconies with that crane.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. Kept using it.
24 feet balcony,
Wow.
one single piece with that crane.
Dang.
Like, I think it was like 12 feet in the air.
It was just a jack.
Yeah.
It was built off of a jack.
With the boom that I
Yeah.
built.
That's crazy.
I think
Dang.
that thing, it was like standing like all the way out. It was like maybe 12 feet or more, maybe 16 feet.
It didn't make you nervous that you're gonna like drop the balcony or.
No, I secure it to the to the frame of the truck.
There you go.
I welded that thing. It was
You
like,
welded
I know,
to
it
the
was
truck?
a
That's crazy. Dang.
yeah, it was something
Wow.
funny. Make it functional.
Yeah.
But I actually
Hilarious.
weld a plate and I figured out a way to put it build into the frame of the chassis of the truck.
Yeah.
So you will see that truck with those wheels kind of like, ooh,
Yeah.
going
Right.
up.
That's
And but yeah, those were things, like even you learn skills how to flip a big rail, by yourself.
Right.
Stuff like that. It can be dangerous. I don't recommend it.
Right. Yeah.
It can be dangerous, but sometimes you have to do it. It's just it's a good thing, like sometimes that you're by yourself and you have to figure it out how you work by yourself, how to be independent, like don't have to rely on somebody else.
Right. Right.
Because that's one of the things that I told my guys, like, because it's not about a good leader, a good employee, or it's not about finding the problems.
Right.
This is about finding solutions.
Right. For sure.
Yeah, everything has a solution, like, no matter how big bad looks like. Every scenario has a solution, you know.
Right.
And that's one of the things that I tell my guys. That's when, you know, when you guys start finding solutions, and it's the best. I mean, and then just don't rely just on your criteria, you know, like ask your coworkers, like, hey, what do you think if we do this? You're in a situation where like you have to solve something, you know, like sometimes I'm in that situation, you know, and I'm running out of ideas. And actually, my helper told me like, hey, what do you think if we do this? And I started thinking about it, and it's like, you know what? I think that's gonna work.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, like I said, you're stressed, you overwhelm, and sometimes you don't see it.
Right.
But your helper actually might see something different than you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then there's
Gotta stay humble.
that's one of the things that I learned with the old generation, you know. There are actually a lot of them that are not willing to take advices,
Right.
you know, and they're I mean, I think that's just the way they're set, you know, their mind, that's the way they're set.
Right.
But I have learned a lot of stuff, good stuff, you know, from my employees too.
Right.
Because there's a lot of guys, the smart guys out there. They can see stuff.
They've seen
that
a
you
lot
don't
of
see.
things, done a lot of jobs.
Yeah, and there's,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know, when you get into, if you like this type of line of work,
Right.
when you get into this work, it's just like, it's that feeling, that excitement to learning, you know, like to
Right.
be creative.
Right.
Because I think it takes a certain person, because you can have a really good welder, but a person can be just a welder and not a
Right.
fabricator.
Right. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
For sure. What would you say to people that are watching this that are artists in any kind of facet? So they're just super creative people. Maybe they're a singer, maybe they're a drawer, a painter, maybe they like crafting things, whether that be carpentry or metal fab or whatever. What would you say to those people that, because it's hard to make a career out of being an artist, right? But you found a way of taking your artistry and these things you love and combining with a practical need, which is metal and metal art. What advice would you give to artists right now that are listening? They're like, I have this art and I'm passionate about it, but they need to find a practical element to make it a business or join a business doing that.
Can you repeat that question again? I need to put more thought in
Yeah. I'll put it like this. You know, you found this thing when you were younger that really inspired you in this moment that you remember clearly. And then you had some other thoughts of things that could be practical, maybe it'd be kind of cool, police officer, such and such. But you found this thing, like you were saying with your brother's business and all that, that you're like, this is my baby. I love this thing, and I don't know if it's going to quite, be successful or not from the get-go, but I'm gonna pursue art, but I'm gonna mix it with, I'm gonna make it a business, right? And I'm gonna build things for people that they're gonna allow me to put my art in their homes. So my question is, what kind of advice would you give for inspiring artists out there that maybe want to start a business or want to start something?
Yeah.
You
Well,
know.
for me, it was,
Where do they even start?
to me, it was like, I wanted to do something, you know, like something to feel proud, you know, like I want to build something, you know, like in reality, if I be honest with you, to me, at one point in my life, I want to create something that I could be remembered, you know, like I want to build a piece that,
For sure.
they can be recognized and be like, my grandkids said, you know, like my grandpa built that.
Yeah.
You know, like something
That's
that
sick.
everybody knows. To me, it was like, it was a dream. It was that flame that was inside of me, you know, that I was like, I couldn't. To a lot of people, I think it's like not doing and following that passion is more about they're comfortable where they are, you know. When I was married, you know, when I came to, I was back and forth all the time, like back and forth to United States, back to Mexico. And when I came over here, I only had a bag of clothes, old clothes. And I was like, to me, it was like, what's the worst thing that can happen, you know?
Did you come by yourself initially? Did you come by yourself initially? You came with your family? Or?
When I came over here, I got married with my wife down there, Mexico.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, then I came over
here. You
here.
guys came over here. Okay.
Yeah, I came over here because I was like back and forth. One of those trips, I met my wife down there, and I was like, okay. So we become friends, and then I came back. I went back, and then I was like, hey, I'm leaving. It's like, I don't know if I'm gonna see you again.
And come with me.
Yeah. So we actually got married down there in Mexico,
nice.
And to me, it was like I got to try it. You know, I couldn't forgive myself if I didn't try it. You know.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
It was like, you know, I didn't have nothing when I started, so I was like, what's the worst thing that can happen? You know.
Right.
Start all over. You know.
Right.
It was, you know, to me, it was worth it. The risk. It was worth the risk because it was something that it was my dream.
Right.
It was my dream. It was my passion. It was like, it was my lead. You know, it was my call.
Right.
It was totally worth it. It was like, go big. You know, go
big or go home.
Yeah. That was it. You know, like I had a lot on the table. You know, I quit my job, and actually that was in the winter time. You know, I quit my job. I was it was a good job. You know, good pay, but I wasn't enjoying. I feel miserable. You know, I didn't enjoy what I was doing. You know,
just a job. Yeah.
It was just a job. I was paying the bills, and I did my part, but it was like, you know, it's not. I wasn't feeling like I was giving my 100% in there. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
And it was like, to me, it was a waste of my time. You know, and that become part of one of my coworkers, and told me, because he knew what I can do with my, you know, with my welding, my stuff, and the stuff that I know how to do is like, and he was a blacksmith too. When he was younger, he said he didn't have any practice anymore. Too much practice. It was like a lot of years back. I think that's one of the things that he inspired me. He told me, he's like, that inspired me. It was a push, I think. And I think everything has a purpose, you know. Right. He told me, don't do the same mistakes that I make. And it was like, you're young, you know how to do stuff, and I see your work. It says, don't make those mistakes. You're gonna regret them. It's just like, to me, it was language, because my first language actually is Spanish. I learned English through the years. I actually had to learn the English because I was a supervisor for around 5 years in a warehouse, and I had to learn English. Yep. A lot of the guys didn't speak Spanish, and so I had to learn it. And he told me, it's like, don't waste your life. You know, if you really like to do this, do it, man. It's like, says, don't do the mistakes that I did. And at the beginning, it was like, even the support, you know, it was like, I think even in my family, everybody was afraid.
Right. For you.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was afraid. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, you're trying your life. It's like, is that gonna work? And I just believe on it. You know, I know that I was good on it, and I was getting the support, and then the proud that I feel, like the feeling, you know, like when I was creating stuff, you know, like even own personal stuff, you know, that passion. It was like, you know, it's like, I can do it. Right. I can do it, and it was like, it was all about following my passion, following my lead, you know, like, and if it's something that you know that you're really good at it, and one of the things is like, a lot of people focus is in the financial part. Of course, it's important, right? But that will come with the time. A lot of people focus a lot that into the beginning, and it's hard.
Right.
It is hard. If you focus a lot into the beginning and the financial part that you want to be rich from the morning, you know. I mean, I don't know if I'm ever gonna be rich, right?
Right.
But if you want to make a ton of money, become
Right.
the next, you know, it's I think if the money becomes the primary goal, I think is
Right.
there's
It could overshadow kind of the quality aspect, and like it becomes the, instead of maybe quality or professionalism or caring about the clients, you're like, well, I just can't wait till I'm getting paid, and it can kind of cut everything else short.
yeah. And I mean, I'm one of those guys that, you know, I know that if I'm gonna build something, and it has to be the right way, right?
Right.
Because if no, I think I couldn't sleep during the night. You know, like I will feel like guilty. You know, that I did something that I didn't want on my house. You know, why
Right.
I should do it for a client.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and that's one of the things. But I think it's like I said, for everybody out there, if you know 100%, but it takes discipline. It takes discipline. It takes passion. It takes that you believe in yourself
Right.
more than anything, because you are the biggest fan of yourself.
Right.
You know, you can sabotage yourself, or you can make yourself successful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Definitely.
all about you know, all about be your first fan.
Right.
You know,
Right.
if you know you're really good at what you do, just follow your passion. And there's up and downs.
Yep.
There's up and downs. There's, you know, good things like I mentioned. You know, like I become really active on social media, and I got to a point with other stuff, my personal life. You know, stuff that it was happening, that it kind of, you know, it was hitting me hard.
Yeah.
Actually, I lost hair. I was like patches.
Dang.
I lost quite a bit of hair. I was eating dinner one time, and my wife was like, "What do you have in your head?" It was like, "Where?" So I look at. She took a picture of my skull, and then it's like this big patch, and there no hair at
Dang,
all.
dude. It's crazy.
And I see it right here, few spots.
Yeah.
It was a stressful moment,
Yeah.
and that was when I was losing people. Like I said, there was something going on with the personal life, and it was like, you know, like I went through that. And I was like, I'm here, and I think good things are coming. You
Yeah.
know? You know, being positive, being focus on my goals. You know.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah. Just keep looking forward.
Yeah, but like I said, that's the first thing. Is takes discipline. Being like I said, your biggest fan.
Right.
Yes, if you're auto sabotage yourself, you're setting yourself for failure.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're never gonna beat yourself if you
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah. And don't. I mean, at the beginning, there's gonna be a ton of people that are gonna tell you no.
Right.
And then you're gonna feel down.
Right.
That's
as
normal.
Yeah.
But if there's probably a lot of no's, but if you really believe on what you do, you're gonna get the yes, like the, you know, the, yes, you're good at what you're doing.
Yeah.
But at the beginning, it takes a lot of people is gonna tell you nope.
Yep.
You know, like the biggest successful businessman or guys that we have. If you look at their background, how many failures they had in the
Right.
past.
For sure.
Yeah.
A lot of them have like bankruptcies and stuff like that before
Yeah.
they're successful.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like I said, it's not about, you learn through the process, and of course sometimes those processes that can be hard, but everything has a purpose, like I said, and then everything is just to make you better at yourself,
Yeah.
and that's what I think.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I double that. I agree. Good stuff. Well, last question I have for you. Just a chance to share with our audience anything that's new or exciting with you. I know you mentioned at the very beginning when we weren't recording, possibly building a shop in the near future, maybe a little bit of expansion.
Yeah,
Just share a little bit of some or new exciting processes or things you're doing.
yeah, so one of the things that, like I said, I want to do in the future is like making a bigger shop. I will actually want to have like a displayed yard.
Oh,
Like
display
where-
yard. Yeah.
Yeah, like where I can have actually clients actually look at and come to see
That'd be sick.
gate openers, balconies, staircases, and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
That'd be super cool.
Having like a showroom where the office is gonna be and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And actually come and pick the materials, like kind of build your, like
Build your structure.
yeah.
That'd be
Let's
cool.
say having a client, an educated client, what's the process, what's all into that his project, that way he understand, the quality and the stuff. He can pick the right materials. He can upgrade to the right stuff, because at the beginning, like I said, is building what the client wants with the way he wants it to,
Right.
because it's you're building his dream,
Right.
building this magic piece, that like he vision,
Right.
and like I said, sometimes they already had the vision. You just had to work on it, and sometimes you had to help them.
Right.
Yeah, but that's one of the things that I've been working for quite a few times, is that the space. I need a bigger shop,
Yeah.
because I do want to. That's why I said I want to have bigger industrial equipment that will help me to start working on those projects that I can use some of this, machinery equipment, new equipment, that I can be designing new stuff,
Right.
new, and the process will be faster.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one of the things, but yeah.
It's awesome, dude. It's exciting. Yeah. Cool. Well, we kind of give every guest a moment to kind of talk to the audience and tell them who you are, your name, how they can find you, contact, whether that's email, website, Instagram, whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So, just fabricator from here from the area. Actually from Prosser. We're located on Prosser, Washington, and we have a small shop where you guys can find us. So our info is Metal Dreams Artistry. You can find me on Google. Actually, I have a lot of good reviews in there, and I like to actually tell to people, look for me on Google. Look for all those good reviews, and then you can find my website, Metal Dreams Artistry LLC.com. Phone number is 509-439-1278. But yeah, if you guys are on the market for interesting, unique pieces, metal railings, metal gates, custom systems, entry gates, and all that good stuff, yeah, feel free to reach out for us, and then we will take care of you, and then do everything in our hands to deliver a flawless project at the end, and something that you're gonna love it. So thank you.
Sweet.
Thank you for your
Cool.
time, guys.
Thank you, Julio, for being on
Yeah.
the show. Hey guys, this is Noah, the host of the Sojourn podcast, sponsored by Sojourn Metal Works, and we had Julio on here, and it was great hearing his story and everything. So, just subscribe to our YouTube channel, give us a great rating, like us, listen to us, give us the ratings on everything. Helps us a ton, and yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Later.